afternoon, tea or coffee. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. This is High Impact Television, Nigeria's first full HD TV. And of course, trust me, you know it's Omobolade Olade. No, let me do the way she does it. Omobolade Olade.
Wow, okay, thank you.
You know I love you. All right, guys. So before we went on newspaper review and all the other breaks that we had to go on, we were having a conversation about how to deal with toxic relationships. How do you even identify that you're in a toxic relationship? And we also have a guest in the house that we wanted to have a conversation with, but we figured out that, you know what, he needs to bring his weight into this matter, being a man, so that it doesn't look like, oh, it's just the females
We're
that are
doing
having
the gender thing now.
you know?
Wow.
So we have a filmmaker, an actor, a director in the house. His name is Joe. No.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Joe.
Thank you very much.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How you guys
Thanks for
doing?
joining
We're
us.
very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us this
Thank
morning.
you.
So sorry we are yanking you off the path that we prepared for you this morning because
Wow.
we can do that.
It's allowed.
So this is what we're going to do. We know that we wanted to speak to you about filmmaking and how it can influence society and all of that. But before we go into all of that,
Okay.
you need to bear in on this conversation. What does it mean to you for anyone to be in a toxic relationship? How do you define what's toxic?
Toxic relationship. Now, how do I put this? If you're in a relationship with someone and you're being abused verbally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, yeah, it's definitely toxic, man. If you're with someone and it doesn't just, you get hurt every time, every freaking time. It's always something against you, hitting you, your heart, physically. I mean it, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually,
What
man.
do you mean spiritually, though?
Well, for example, if your beliefs don't clash, you guys would always have issues, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
You guys would always have issues. It's just unfortunate. One has to bend the knee to the other. If not, back to back, boost.
Okay. So, just before you joined, Bolade and I were trying to demystify the entire idea of what it means to be toxic, and I was trying to tell Bolade that my level of tolerance, my tolerance for stuff differs to hers and vice versa, and as with every other person. Now, I might be able to take some stuff that I don't actually consider as toxic because I'm like, well, it's okay. And then people around me are like, no, that's toxic. Now, where do we draw the line? Does it have to be person specific? Or does it have to be the general outlook of, okay, is it that how do I feel when I am about to meet with this person? For instance, there are some people that we all know, there are some people in our circle that we all know that when I'm about to see this person, I get anxious or I just feel a certain type of way, like I just don't like the energy that
Around
this person brings.
yeah.
So where do we draw that line? Is it when you are able to just say, you know what, I'm done with this? No, if you know that a lot of people that are in toxic relationships are actually, a lot of those toxic relationships rather, are actually toxic marriages.
True.
How do you draw that line?
Before you marry the person?
Even after
even
you've married
after
the
you've
person,
married
because
the
the times whereby you have married this person and then you start to see extra colors that you've not seen before, and then in your mind you're like, was this there before?
Yeah.
Did this person used to do this? And then you question and question and question. So yes, like she said, even when you're married to this person, how do you draw the line?
Well, let's just take it back. Sorry. When you marry someone, you marry three people: the one you know, the one that knows you, and the one you do not want to know.
Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's
Okay.
When you marry a person, you marry the one you know,
the one you know,
the one you don't know,
the one you don't know,
and the one you know, the one that knows you, and the one you do not want to know. Now that's that last person you should be worried about. That That last person is who you should be worried about. So it's not surprising that people change in marriages. People even change in relationships. Now the question is it something you want to deal with? Look, you have to be able to know your limits. You need to. It's unfortunate to say, and when we grow up, we will grow no ma or no sir, because trust me, it's both ways. Like, I've seen some women beat up their husbands amazingly, right? Crazy, but it's amazing. But well, it's both ways. So you really need to know your limits, and if it's rather unfortunate if you get to find out your limits in the marriage. All right.
Yeah.
But well, my dad will not be proud of me for this, but hey, what the heck? Look, get a divorce, man. Just leave already. Do you want to die in it? I said it before, marriage is not for everybody. It's really not. If you have issues in it and you cannot deal with it, all right, it hurts more when you have kids in it. All right, but it is safer to go, because life is, we live every day. Yes, we die once, but man, honey, you don't want to die that once, because when you die, it's judgment.
I hope your dad is watching this.
He's dead. He's fine. So it's not. Just go already, man. I tell many people, when you discover that, because like you said, I'm very tolerant. Like, some things that piss other people might not necessarily piss me off. Yeah, but it's amazing about the things that would piss me off. Something very, very little.
It could be minute.
Very, you know. So once you know your partner, you guys have been dating. You see some things. He or she yells at you. Says he or she would slap you, hit you. Man, those are signs.
Red flags.
They have been there since the beginning.
More like red banners.
Like, they have been right there. You don't need to be with that person. You might really love the person. The person might really, really, get to you, understand you, but you really don't need to be, man. Just go. There's someone out there for you.
All right. We have people that have been in toxic relationships and they still stay in it because of different reasons. YMC was mentioning earlier that they stay because of financial gain. They stay because they stay because of the investments they have made.
Emotional investment.
They stay because of their children. In fact, most fall in that bracket. Fall in that bracket because of the kids. I don't want to raise a family in a broken home. I don't want to raise this and that. But then this also leads to suicide and murder. Now we're going to mirror two stories. Okay. Now the first one is, there was a story we took yesterday on our trending topics, and we're talking about a particular man. Is a 48-year-old, easygoing. He has 6 children. He is a taxi driver. He worked so hard to buy cars, second-hand used cars, to fend for his family and all of that. He has invested so much in his family's life. They all love him. Everybody in the environment love him because, according to the story, they said he was an easygoing man. But allegedly, he caught his wife cheating on him after all he has done for him, and all he had to do was commit suicide.
Wow.
He had to kill himself. Now the next story is the popular Miriam story. I can't remember her surname now.
Miriam Sander.
I think it's Miriam Sander. She got married. It was a popular wedding. You would find it on social media, and she killed her husband. Emotional battery, and it was something that has been going on for so long. But now, I was saying this before we came on the show, that you don't have an evidence for emotional battery. You are the only one that's feeling what you're feeling. Well, maybe your family members and people that have seen the situation happen. But apart from that, you are the only one that sees what you're saying. So what exactly do you do? What pushes you to that extent for you to know that, you know what, I think I have to go, or not? Because some people don't even leave. And what do you do? What do you see in these situations, and how can you even mirror it? What can you do?
I would put everything on voices.
On
voices.
What does that mean?
Voices in your head. what you're listening to, what you hear, what talks to you. Amazingly, there are voices, the good voices, the bad voices. So it depends on what you're listening to. Now, this person that committed suicide because he saw his wife cheating, it's really painful. There's really, really no, I can't say this is why he committed suicide or this is why he should commit suicide. But I would say if he was, it would be sad to say for maybe probably stronger because we don't know everybody's strength. Unfortunately, he might not have been able to deal with that. But I would be amazed if he tells me, which of course he might not because he's dead. I don't want to talk to dead people, not yet. Okay. So if he says, I'll be amazed if he says he did not see the signs. I would be very amazed because I believe in signs. Nothing comes to you like that. You might be blind to it. You might be blind to it, but there are always signs that woman's cheating, and then you how do you handle it? It's your strength. It's your inner strength. How have you built yourself? What you've been building, how it has been growing. All right? Okay? Yeah. And then, now, down to the other lady that killed her husband.
Yeah.
Yes. My 2 kobo on that is we cannot tell what really happened in the house. That's just my 2 kobo. Many people would say we can call it maybe a fight started and then it was self-defense, you know. But in the country that we are in, it's hard, being the fact that the guy had some strong powers that be, you know, and it's really hard to find justice in times like that. But hey, we never can tell. We're not there, and we don't have CCTV cameras. We should have CCTV cameras in our houses. What do you think?
Okay, speaking about CCTV cameras, then we would turn our entire life into documentaries and movies. Now, you see, life is, how would I put it now? The society mirrors movies and artworks and all of that, music, and it's culture, right? It mirrors society and vice versa. You see people churn out movies where someone committed adultery, and if, for instance, I am a man, I'm cheating on my wife, the movie director, writer, actor, everybody in that movie, and nobody would see anything wrong with that, would write it in such a way that Madame goes to attack side chick, right, in the movie, and strips her naked in public, Ashawo, you steal my husband, and make a lot of ruckus and make a lot of noise, right? That's story 1. Or Madame catches uncle cheating in her matrimonial bed, which is another conversation for another day. Madame catches uncle in her matrimonial bed with the side piece, and what? You, I will kill you today. Brings out a knife. No, don't kill her. Oh. In the process, somebody gets stabbed. Now, these are minute micro messages that even though we are not particularly telling anybody to kill anybody, but it's settling in people's subconscious. And so you find out that that's exactly what people will do when they're in a real life situation. The question is, shouldn't movies start projecting more sensible ways out of such emotional, toxic / whatever relationship issues, such that maybe we start having movie writers include counseling, include seeing a psychiatrist, include having conversations. Everything doesn't have to be violent, does it? Right? So what do you think needs to be done to get movie makers on that page, to get everybody on that page in such a way that we all know that if there is a conflict, there needs to be a conversation to be had about it. You don't always have to be violent. If a woman is not the one shouting and nagging the husband to death, the man is the one beating the woman up in a movie. We don't have to continue to mirror those things. What do you think?
Well, what do I think? I think I totally get you, and I think it's not a bad idea. However, I'll let you all know that many of the stories we do are mostly based on real life, unfortunately. Mostly based on real life. Someone is telling a story of what he or she experienced. So what we do is we try to let people know this is really happening this really happens. You understand? Now, the idea of having us say, okay, because this happened, instead of following the real story, let us try and show guys, show people what you should do instead of doing what really happened. It's something I think we should totally work on. It's not a bad idea, really. But trust me, many of these stories are like real stories. And people want to put, we directors and filmmakers want to put it out there to let people know that this is what is really, really happening. All right, that's basically it. But I just believe when it comes to stuff like that, I said this before, not here, but when I hate seeing there's a case of adultery and then the woman goes for the side chick or the husband goes for the side nigga. I'm like, the side chick did not promise for better or for worse, man. That's not who you should be fighting.
Should be fighting the man.
The person that promised you for better or for worse. The nigga, fight. I say not the side chick. So I think everything we do in movies most times happen in real life. For example, I ain't calling out nobody, but you know when we were younger, we always saw families being chased out when they lost their parents and stuff.
True.
And it was like, in the village, I'm not going to the village. Boom, my dad dies, and boom, I'm out of the house.
Wow.
In Lagos.
In Lagos,
yeah.
Not in the village.
Yeah. So it's it's what we do is really what y'all, trust me, man. What you see, except it's totally what do you call it? Fiction.
I get where you're coming from as per talking about real life
stories.
Because I mean, life is there's this verisimilitude with life and art. But what I think also is that there's something called poetic license. There's a way a story can be written that even though it is based on true life events, we can still bring to bear what should be the normal thing. Like, we need to get to the point where, Balade and I were saying something earlier, and I told Balade, I said, the reason why we still have lots of these cases, and in fact, it looks like it's becoming more rampant in this time and age, is because there's this, I have been disenfranchised for too long, I've been cheated for too long, I have been subjected and for too long. I have been oppressed for too long, and for that reason, I'm taking back my power, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So there has to be, I mean, it was movies that taught us, it's wrong to steal, it's wrong to kill, it's wrong. So there has to be normalizing, having conversations, normalizing handling conflict in a better way. There has to be that orientation. But you see, it will not work if I come up to TV and I say, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that may work on some audience. But how about the audiences that buy home movies? In the corner, that don't watch
home movies.
Yeah, that don't watch cable TV. They don't watch, what's it called?
Satellite TV.
It's the old movies. That's what gets. And you know, the funny part of it is that is actually where the core of society lives. So there has to be conversations about normalizing, okay, you know what, we have come this far. Yes, we know this is culture and all of that, but we need to start redefining things so that we don't continue to lose people. It doesn't make any sense for anybody to kill anybody or kill themselves because of a failed relationship.
It doesn't. It's saddening. It's amazing. But I totally get you. I think it's something I would definitely try and put to note. There's a particular movie, a story I've been working on about how the lady was really messed up, and then she's still alive anyways, but she's the one telling her story. It's been hard for us to get her to tell her full story. We've been on this since December because she was raped a couple of times, dated a cultist caught her with knives and she raped her. It was just, story's messy. And then I'm like, okay, if I watch this story at the cinemas, I would be very unhappy when I'm leaving. So we have to make it end well. You know, and so we would definitely look into finding so although that's not what she's doing right now. She's not having a very fantastic happy ending. She's still in court for her son. So we're still going to try and
find a way around it.
Because many people want their story to be told as it is. But we're always going to say, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Because, man, it's crazy. Toxic relationships, crazy. Trust me.
All right. Now, we've been having a conversation on how to deal with toxic relationships. And, of course, we're already moving into toxic relationships and movie making and how the movie industry can incorporate all of this. I think we should move into conversations with Joe Rock and, of course, see the kind of movies that you do, what you do, who you are, and all of those things. Let me ask you a question before we go on a break. Okay. I've seen some of your movies. Of course, I had to check your social media platform and all of that. Now, let me ask you very quickly, what sort of genre are you into? In movie making now, not even as an actor, what sort of genre are you into? Short movies, you name it. What sort of genre are you into?
Oh, well, right now, as a filmmaker, I'm more into short movies for now.
Okay.
Then a few skits. I just like telling real stories, really touching lives, basically, and we can do that in short stories, quickly, directly. Many people say I'm a bit of a funny person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see yourself as a funny person too? That's a question.
Yeah. You see, technically, it's not like I'm that funny or something, but it's just how people they look at me. I'm like. I just want to tell. I'm a very serious person. I'm very serious.
You didn't sound serious in 1 second ago.
You didn't sound
serious. It's not like that. You see, it's not like it's not. I'm serious. So okay. See, I like to tell real stories, but whenever I have chance to make a few people laugh, I love to make people happy too. And I like let people know this is happening. We need to deal with this. That's basically me.
Okay, so producer says that we are getting too cozy and she doesn't want us to misdirect her.
Okay.
So we have to do something very quickly before we let you go.
Okay.
Some games.
Wow.
Let's play some games.
Okay.
We've been doing drum roll for Joe Rock today.
Yes, he has to pay us.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, coronavirus.
Okay.
Mad.
Anyways.
You know I love you.
Please go away.
I love you.
Anyways, we'll be playing something called Song Association. Now this is how it works.
Wow.
Let's do
Take a deep breath.
Inhala, exhala. There's something we do here.
Okay.
It's called inhala, exhala. That is, you breathe in and then you breathe out. So let's do it together. Everybody, inhala, exhala. Yes.
Yeah,
So we can get you ready for the game.
Wow.
Now, song association is, we're going to give you a word and you have to give us a song that has that word in it.
Either starting with the word, or the middle of the song, or the end of the song. But no, we're not waiting for the end of the song.
No, we won't wait for the end of the song. We just have to hear
that
word in that song. And it has to be an established song.
I can't do originals.
Nope.
No.
Because I used to have restrictions after music.
No.
I used to sing music. I used to do music.
We don't want
We don't want
your music.
Okay.
We don't want your music.
We want songs that are known. Yes.
Okay.
We want established songs that
See,
you have to.
I'm a creative, so I can't create.
No, we don't want creative songs.
to.
If it's a song we don't know and we can't sing along to, you get 2 strikes.
Wow.
2 strikes means you're dropping 10,000 naira per strike. Yes.
I like her role.
Wow.
I like her role, so I think we should do this.
Okay.
I think that pocket is bulging, so he has to prepare for us.
It's a microphone.
All right. Very first word, baby.
Baby.
That was too easy.
Okay.
All right, so let me see if you know the song. Who sang the song?
Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Justin Bieber.
I would have been mean and asked what year.
What?
Yeah.
See what?
What year did
We're dealing with words. We're dealing with words and music. That was this is why Nigeria is corrupt. We're dealing with words.
All right, your next word is chilling. Chilling.
Chilling, right?
Don't repeat it.
Chilling, right?
Yes.
Chilling.
Chilling. Man,
Chilling.
Stop wait.
Chilling.
Wait. Chilling.
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 Don't let him compose songs.
I'm not you guys are trying to make me. I'm trying to remember. There's a song that I know about chilling. It's not ahum.
So give it to us. Chilling.
Okay.
Countdown starts in 10.
Wow.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh, come on.
Chilling.
2.
Come on.
I mean, the song I remember is How to Do Chilling. I've been really.
You know me.
Gang.
Chilling with the monster.
I heard that song this morning. Oh, God. Oh, man, I'm so disappointed in me. Wow.
You have to send him a private apology.
I'm so sorry. I twice. I played that song twice in my car today.
So you got one.
Okay.
You didn't get one.
Yeah.
We have more to come.
We have more to come. Let's go.
Take a deep breath. Not bad.
Take a deep breath.
Come on.
1 over 1. No.
Okay.
No, 9 over 2. Okay.
Never mind.
All right. Fall.
Banana fall on you.
Okay.
Macaroni, I don't know fall on you. Because I'm in love with you. Oh my goodness. I'll do it. My dad, you will live long.
Okay, that's a very good one. All right, so this one says complete.
Oh. If I no get you, it's like a sun without the light. It's like the moon without the light. Cause I need you in my life.
We can't hear complete now.
If I no get you,
Where's the complete?
it's like a sun without the light.
No.
You complete me. You complete me. Yeah, that's the song. You see me now. You know, right? Complete me. Yes. That's the song. Yeah?
Okay. 3 over 4 is not bad.
At all.
Not bad at all.
Now, the very last word. If you get this, I'll try another one in the mix.
My Jesus.
Yes. Y-U-M-M-Y. Yummy.
Girl, you got that
Yummy.
Oh, yummy.
I'm done with your rock. I'm done.
Oh my goodness, yummy. Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I'm beefing you, jump.
I should jump? Okay.
No. A song with the word jump.
Jump.
Even I'm trying to get
Like jump, right?
Okay, but you go.
Okay.
First. You go first.
When I say jump, everybody in the place dance. Everybody move. Everybody just get yay! I'm trying to. I'll do it.
You are
doing it. Fantabulous.
Thank you so much, Jorak. You have been an amazing soul on the show this morning.
Thank you very much.
We wish we could keep you for longer
For
than
the
this.
whole show, because we've been having so much fun. It's interesting.
I have that thing on people. Is like people don't want to live far because I'm like, but I have to go. Have to.
You have to.
Really? You're bragging? A song with T. A song with T. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wait, you have 10 seconds. I still have 5 more seconds. It's a song that has to do with someone 70 and then it's like it's this child song. And then it's like would you Polly put the kettle on, Molly put the kettle on. Molly put the kettle on.
We all have tea. That was a good one.
Thank you very much.
That was a good one.
Thank you so much, Jura, for joining us on Take Up This Morning.
Thanks
We
for
had a
having me.
fantastic time.
Thank you.
We hope that the next time you come, we have more difficult games for you. And we hope we win this time around.
We hope we win.
in this hard time, 10,000 naira.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show.